Guess what, Jordan?
What's that?
We have been doing this every week, 6 months.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. What's even crazier than that? We've actually been doing it longer.
Yeah, because
we never released the first couple episodes we recorded.
Yeah.
And I look back on some of the first episodes. Maybe we shouldn't have released some of those either.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this is by far the most difficult episode that we've released.
I have a new appreciation for what real sound engineers.
It makes me want to donate money to people who do it for free.
It totally does. So this episode we went to the May Day rally here in Salt Lake, did some interviews, captured the speeches, the rallies. There was a march where they spontaneously took over parts of downtown, in downtown Salt Lake City. And we worked really hard to bring that to you guys. And it was hard, but it was fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun. You know, honestly, I was not prepared to run.
No, I was not either.
And my knees and ankles were already sore from working out so much the last couple of weeks to try to get myself in shape that I was actually taking a break for 2 weeks from running to allow my ligaments and muscles to heal again, because there was a day I couldn't even walk. I was not ready for that.
I was out of breath doing some of the interviews. You can hear me, noticeably out of breath. You can hear it.
But I had a lot of fun, and I thoroughly hope you guys enjoy it, because we worked really hard on this.
For the events this week, this Tuesday, which is the 7th, is the last day to get your form in for the Nurturing Liberation Mother's Day Vegan Prisoner Benefit, what Salt Lake Anarchist Black Cross is doing. Mm-hmm. You can Google Salt Lake Anarchist Black Cross, and they will have the information available there, and it all goes towards helping past and present vegan prisoners, because it's really hard to be a vegan prisoner. And then you can pick up your orders on that Saturday as well, the 11th.
And if you by chance are listening to this first thing Sunday when this comes out, Sunday night,
Cinco de Mayo,
is the Brown Beret is holding a charity fundraiser at Burst Tiki Lounge at 9 o'clock. So if you have time, go check it out. I always love Burst Tiki Lounge.
Yeah, it's a nice little...
Is it still a fire hazard?
I bet.
Last time I was there, all the walls are lined with dried palm trees.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is crazy.
You can check out more events, whichsidepodcast.com, which is new, by the way. We just got a website.
Yeah.
Go to the events section. We have community event calendars for multiple communities and not just ours. And if you want to add yours to it, just let us know.
And the only reason we were able to get things like the website is because awesome people like you actually are donating. Mm-hmm. And all we do with the money is put it directly back into this. It's just a labor of love for us. So just so you know, that's what things like this go towards.
Totally.
So check us out.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoy. Which side are you on?
The right side. So we have a lot of awesome interviews that we got at May Day.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to actually talk to the people who are there and hear their voices of what why they're there, what they have to say. I do want to state that this isn't necessarily the opinions of us. We don't just seek anarchists. We don't just seek people who are like-minded than us. We talk to whoever's there.
Yeah, we were asking everybody, and this won't be your traditional episode either. It will be, as you'll see, pretty cut and paste.
Yeah. So here's the people at May Day.
Yeah, my name's Bill Voulet. My political affiliation is I'm a member of the Workers' World Party.
Okay.
We have a 60-year history of supporting all struggles in the U.S. We support the struggle for GLBTQ rights, LGBTQ rights. We support all anti-racist actions. We support the Tinley Park Five. And we are in solidarity with Cuba and the socialism in Cuba, for sure.
What does May Day mean to you?
May Day means to me is it's a day when workers come out and we remember who has the power in this society. This is a class society. Based on profit motives, but if workers organize and unite, we have the power to overcome this and build a society based on our needs and based on
Enjoy it. Yeah.
I guess building for everyone.
Okay. Why do you think May Day hasn't caught on in the United States as it has across the world?
I think it's mostly due with the McCarthy era anti-communist witch hunts and the falsifications and lies that the U.S. and the media and the corporate media told about revolutionary uprisings all around the world during the 60s and 50s, 60s, and 70s.
If you just have one thing to say, what would it be?
I'd be workers and oppressed people of the world unite.
Yeah, my name's Corbin.
How do you politically identify?
Anarchist communist.
And so why are you here today?
Well, it's May Day, International Workers' Day, celebration of international working class issues, as well as to remember the 8 anarchists that were executed for expressing themselves at the rally in Chicago.
So what exactly does May Day mean to you?
To me, I guess it means an international recognition of all things related to class war. I know in the early part of the 20th century, they kind of changed Labor Day, which was traditionally on May Day, to whatever day it is in September, trying to get it to be separated internationally between the global anti-capitalist movement. So it's kind of context how I see it, and it's kind of a reclaiming of that original holiday.
Is there anything that you want to get out there or say in particular?
No, not particularly.
That's cool.
Just people should read.
Deb Wright.
And how would you say you identify politically?
I'm an anarchist, and I am co-branch secretary treasurer of the Salt Lake branch of the IWW.
And why did you come out here today?
I came out here today because May Day is really important to me. May Day is a workers' holiday, and we're all workers, we're all working class, unless you're a boss. And so it's really important that we all come out and we make sure that we take this holiday back, because we're given Labor Day, and that's not really a workers' holiday in this country, and I think it's a real shame. And it's a real shame that any events that are for the people, quote unquote, are all corporate sponsored, they're all run by politicians. Like, this is a day for us, and it just needs to stay a day for us, and it needs to be something that we actually do every year.
So is there anything that you'd like to get out or say?
We're fighting for our lives. We're fighting for the land, we're fighting for the air, we're fighting for our right to unionize and our right to work for things that we care about and work for the people that we care about and actually see those people. And if anybody doesn't think that we're in the fight for our lives, then they're sadly mistaken. We're losing ground quickly, and we need to everybody needs to be getting out there. They need to shut their fucking TV off, shut their fucking radio off, and get in touch with something that they care about and something they believe in, and start working in some way, because we are turning into slaves quickly.
Jake.
And how do you identify politically?
I'm an anarchist.
So why are you here today?
To celebrate May Day, to commemorate Haymarket martyrs, just to be out here with our community and to, plan for another year.
And so what does May Day mean to you?
To me, May Day is just a day to reflect on the many struggles that have gone in the past and people who have fought and died for just small changes like the 8-hour day and other workers' rights, and to reinvigorate myself, confirm or reaffirm my political standing, and just get ready for another year.
Is there anything you'd like to get out there or say in particular?
Fuck capitalism.
Jesse Fruworth.
And how do you identify politically, would you say?
Oh, God. I mean, I identify as an aspiring anarchist the same way I identify as, like, an aspiring Buddhist. Like, I mean, I look to them for inspiration, but, yeah.
And why are you here today?
I'm here because I'm gathering with my community and talking about issues facing the working class, the ongoing sort of brutal class war that oppresses us in all sorts of different ways, a lot of us more than others. And hoping that, we're starting to identify cracks in this oppressive system, and hopefully we can start pushing together in the weak spots.
So what does May Day or International Workers' Day mean to you?
I think it's a day where we really think about what it would mean to organize workers, especially across borders. So understanding that immigrant rights are workers' rights, that's something that's often forgotten within the sort of greater labor movement, if you even think of it that way. So it's important, I think, for communities to come together and realize that, in fact, immigration law is one of the greatest tools that the state has to oppress all workers.
Is there anything that you'd like to get out or say in particular?
Yeah, I think that we need to stop all immigrant raids and deportations and erase borders. I think that people should have a freedom of passage towards whatever direction they need, and the borders are a means to oppress and keep people divided and imprisoned and deported and relocated and completely unstabilized. So, I think it's time for the working class to unite, and I think also for within that community to sort of locate those people who have a lot of intersectional issues and put them to the front and find how we can sort of raise the material standing immediately for the people who need it the most.
Jordan Mason.
And why exactly are you here today?
I'm here to support the May Day rally in the United States for workers' rights and for people's right to self-determination.
And what does May Day mean to you?
May Day means the 8-hour workday, which we fought for. It means no child labor. It means just having the rights of the workers being thought of and defended by the community.
And how would you say you identify as
politically?
Yeah.
I am a Maoist.
Okay. Describe Maoism a little bit more for me.
Maoism is the basis, I would say the mass line. It's getting the workers, kind of like a Leninist tendency, getting the workers and to have a cultural revolution from the streets and to be able to build a community revolution where everyone is involved and not have another dictator.
How would that so it's not to have another dictator, you say?
Yeah, we're trying to have a cultural revolution, and so that the community is changed, and so they are less likely to be subjugated a second time or a third time.
And how would that differentiate from Marxism or Leninism?
I'm a Marxist. Like I follow a lot of different tendencies. So Maoism is the baseline, but I am a Marxist. Mm-hmm. I'm a Leninist. I want to a more aggressive stance against the state, against the state power.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say or get out there?
We need more people. We need to fight, or it's going to be taken from us.
My name is Justin Lemming.
So why are you here today?
I'm out here because I think that this is the one true celebration of workers' rights in America and internationally as well. So I'm here to support workers' struggles and workers' rights and the abolition of capitalism.
What does that mean to you, the abolition of capitalism?
The abolition of capitalism to me means that workers no longer depend on bosses and or any middleman to be able to support their creation and their extraction of different resources.
Why do you think that May Day hasn't caught on in America as it has across the country, or the world, I should say?
I think that ever since the 50s and the Reagan era, there's been a a depletion in not only the rhetoric of workers' rights and workers' struggles, but as well there's been a general depletion in society of having appreciation for the working class and what they do, as well as an increase in the wealth of the working class, and the creation of the pseudo middle class has made people really comfortable with their lives. And what they don't realize in a lot of ways is that their comfort is coming from the exploitation of third world countries, and they don't connect that to where their workplace is and how their work is affecting the global community.
If you could get out one message today, what would it be?
It would be just that, international solidarity with everybody around the world, all the workers who are struggling and striking in Europe and Latin America, workers in China who are, continually being oppressed by, Apple and other fucked up companies, and just a reminder to people in the States, to people in the world, that everybody's out here and, we all support them and we all look for their support as well.
Kristen.
How do you identify?
In what way? Politically, I am anarcho-feminista. Anarcha-feminista. I always fuck that up.
Why are you here today?
I'm part of the Anarchist Black Cross, and I like to consider myself a syndicalist, so May Day is important.
What does May Day mean to you exactly?
It's historically significant as a day for workers' rights, and I don't know, I think it's pretty important in showing solidarity, not only locally, but nationally and internationally.
Is there anything that you'd want to get out there in particular?
In terms of workers' rights, I think that Utah is having, and other places, are having a good push for migrant and farm workers' rights, and I think that's pretty, a good issue to put in the forefront now, and May Day could center around that, voice for the voiceless.
I'm Chris McIntyre.
And how do you identify politically?
I identify as an anarchist, generally, but more specifically as a vegan anarcho-feminist.
And what does May Day mean to you?
This is actually only the second May Day that I've participated in, so I'm still learning a lot about it. To me, it means an opportunity to come out and participate with the community and celebrate our successes and our solidarity with each other. And the fact that even though we're all struggling with a lot of oppression and capitalism and bad economy and sexism and all these endless struggles, that we have each other's backs, and that's what this is about.
And why are you here today exactly?
Well, I asked for the day off from work. Ironically, you have to request time off from work for the workers' holiday. But I put in for this day off months ago so that I could be sure to be here, because this community means a lot to me, and I always like a chance to join in a demonstration.
Is there anything that you want to say in particular? Get out there.
The news yesterday about Amy and the animal rights case, the ag-gag law being dropped.
Got dropped. That's great.
So that's another reason to celebrate today.
Madison.
And how do you identify politically?
I identify as an anarchist and a feminist.
Why are you here today?
I'm here to just, support everyone out here, check everything out. It's nice to be, in a place where everyone can get together that kind of has like-minded politics, and I honestly like coming here to kind of network and meet new people and find new ways to, be able to come together in the future as well. And yeah.
What does May Day mean to you?
For me, it's kind of that idea of all coming together and just being we're still here, and this is still like an act of resistance that is persisting and hasn't gone away, even though I think a lot of people wouldn't see this as a topical thing or something that's still happening. And I think that is easier to say also in Salt Lake City, where there's not a huge radical community, but it's really awesome to just come together and kind of show that we still have a presence.
Is there anything that you'd like to get out or say in particular?
Not really, just to keep coming out like every year.
So what's your name?
McKenna.
And how do you identify politically, would you say?
Anarcho-feminist.
And why are you here today?
I'm here today to stand in solidarity with workers around the world.
And what would you say is your main reason you would attend May Day?
Ooh, the main reason I would attend May Day? Probably to raise awareness about workers' rights and, most of the people here already know why we're here at May Day. They know all about the Haymarket Massacre, but, there's a lot of people outside of this realm who don't. So I think it's more effective to raise awareness about what May Day is and what it means to us, to maybe people, unsuspecting folks like the ones you see at this bar.
And if you had to get something out, what would you say?
If I had to get something out, I would say, it's important to, if I had to get something out, this is so hard. Probably to say that we're all in solidarity with one another. The working class struggle is all of our struggle because we're all working class. We all have to hold a job to do something. I want people to understand that, it's okay to understand that, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm really distracted right now.
Oh, it's fine. We're chanting and there's police chasing us. It's cool.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I would just say the most important thing I want to get out is that we need to stand in solidarity with one another, try to find effective ways to end capitalism, organize ourselves, and create a better community.
My name is Rafael Cordray.
And how do you identify?
As I'm an anarchist, and I don't believe in party politics at all. I think that's a waste of time, So
why are you here today?
Well, I think that May Day is an opportunity for us to practice some principles that are a little different than the mainstream, and something like the free market is a really great opportunity for people to experience just giving things away. And it's amazing how much stuff people have, especially middle class or whatever you want to call us, white people who have all these things, and there's people who don't have things. And I think just creating a space where you can bring what you have and give it to people that need something, that I think we should create those opportunities all the time to share what we have and to get from others what they have in a free environment where there's no coercion. So that's what I like about it.
Is there anything you'd like to get out in particular?
Well, I would say that people need to stop spending money and consuming in a monetary sense and start finding other ways to find pleasure and gratitude in life.
My name's Ryan.
And why are you here today?
To celebrate International Workers' Day.
So what does International Workers' Day and May Day mean to you?
It means building an anti-capitalist movement to overthrow capitalism.
How do you identify politically?
I'm an anarchist communist. I guess I'm kind of in the platformist tradition.
Is there anything that you'd like to say in particular, or any message you'd like to get out?
Anarchists in America need to start organizing.
Sweet.
Because capitalism won't be destroyed by diving in dumpsters.
Sabrina Reichert.
Okay. And how would you say you identify politically?
Anarcho-syndicalist.
And why are you here today?
Today is May Day, International Workers' Day. It's a holiday that's celebrated internationally, but for whatever reason it's not celebrated in the U.S. For a lot of us here today, it's really important to have a presence and show solidarity with the workers of the U.S. and abroad. Our focus today was on immigration. Immigration is an increasingly important issue here, especially in Utah. We have a lot of legislation that's constantly coming up. We have a lot of a big undocumented population, so it's important to show solidarity with them as fellow workers. So yeah, just out here to bring about awareness.
Is there anything that you'd like to just get out?
Fuck the police.
The Haymarket riots, where both police and workers were killed, massacred even, fighting for the 8-hour workday. So that's where it comes from for me. That's where its core is. It's fighting back, and it's celebrating our fighting back and continuing to organize. And especially in a place like the United States of America, remembering and not forgetting. Haymarket riots happened in Chicago, yet we don't celebrate May Day as an official holiday in the United States.
Why do you think that is, but it's celebrated all across the world?
Well, I mean, part of it is specifically because they, various, governments, or our government has basically said we're not going to do that. We're going to have Labor Day instead because we don't want international solidarity and we don't want, a worldwide movement.
My name is Victor Puertas.
Why are you here?
Well, I'm here to celebrate May Day,
Yeah?
May the 1st, and to honor the memory of people that died for the workers' struggle,
So what does May Day mean to you?
May Day means a lot of things for me, I'm a working class person. I'm an immigrant too, coming to this country from South America. So it means like solidarity to borders. So we respect the rights of immigrants and undocumented workers, especially, and workers everywhere,
Why do you think Americans have been so reluctant to bring on the May Day celebrations where worldwide it seems to have caught on a lot more?
That for me is really interesting, So like growing up in my country, May Day is Labor Day, and all like places that I talk to people from Europe, from South America, it's always like May Day, it's always May the 1st, but in America you came here and you have Labor Day, which is September 16th. Why? Because I think it's like an effort, from the people in power to erase history, to like make us ignorant of our own history, and our own battles and our own struggles, and to erase history so people can relate to each other, so people can like draw that line, and say like, why in the past people were doing that, and we're doing the same thing today, how we can learn from that and what we can like, what we can do to like, move forward, basically. It's all an effort to erase history. And
if you could get one message out there today, what would it be?
What would be well, fight for what you believe, like remember this is May Day and people die for their beliefs, and you're willing to do the same thing too by doing it in the right way, organize your community, go there, with your friends, with your neighbors, and also find the people that are like oppressed, the people that you see are different than you, because you realize they're not that different than you, and you realize that probably they're having like a similar experience that you have right now.
Do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, workers' rights and immigrants' rights for everybody. No borders, no nation, no bosses.
During the march and the rally they did, there was a lot of chaos. It was an impromptu march where they took over the streets, and we tried to capture that chaos, but more importantly, we tried to actually go in and talk to the spectators, the people that were on the sides that had no idea that was going on, the people coming out of their apartments or coming out of their restaurants, walking their dogs, or just trying to experience, just smoking a cigarette. So we wanted to get you guys the actual feel of what it kind of felt like to be there. So we put a couple of the chants and just so you hear what it was like, and then we follow that up with just those one-on-one conversations we were trying to have with people, which I thought was great.
I thought it was really interesting what the spectators had to say and how they viewed things.
Every rally I've been in like this, I've always wondered kind of like what that third person's view of everything is. You don't really get a chance to stop and have that conversation, so we tried to capture that as it was happening.
Whose streets are free? Whose streets are free? Whose I think it's pretty crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm not really sure what's going on.
It's a worker celebration.
Oh. Well, good for them.
What do you guys think about what's going on?
I'm not for A&E police.
What was that?
I'm not for A&E police.
How you doing?
Doing good.
What's this about?
It's a celebration of workers' rights and standing up to the authorities.
Oh, really? All right. Take it easy. Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.
Hi. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Where are you from?
From Europe. Croatia.
Ah, so you're familiar with May Day. You've done this before, right?
Yeah.
You celebrate International Workers' Day there. There's not much of one in Salt Lake, but we're trying to get it started.
You protection. For what protection?
For protection?
Yeah.
You mean all these cops?
Yeah.
Oh, they're not for
they're
protection.
Here to keep us safe.
No. Okay, sweetheart. Okay.
All right. Nice to talk with you.
Okay, bye-bye.
What do you think about this?
I love it. It's great.
Good.
Awesome. I love the cops behind you.
How do you guys feel about what's going on right now? No?
It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Good. What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Ashley?
And so do you know anything about what's going on?
Well, not right now, but what I'm hearing is that about no deportation.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a really good idea because, I mean, it's not fair what they're doing.
What do you think about all this?
I didn't know. Well, it's very good. It's first time that I see something like this.
Why do you Why do you guys feel that this is a joke?
What do you think is going on?
What do you think's going on here?
Show your face.
This is my face.
Well, I saw the one sign that said end capitalism.
Why do you feel that they should show their faces?
Why not show their face? Why are they hiding their face?
Possibly to avoid persecution from the police.
When they're sitting here, the police are protecting them from other cars while they have the right to assemble and do this, yet they turn around and say, fuck the police. Isn't that a joke? A little ironic?
What do you think about what's going on?
I don't think it. Why?
Just asking people what they think.
It's strange.
Just strange?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think that the standard organizations that rule our society cannot stand much longer simply because they're not based in truth. And by truth, I mean like just anything. I mean, you have the Mormons who deny evolution as an example. You have to pay attention to what everyone thinks and everyone feels. And until we do that, we're going to have all sorts of messed up things.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Sure, go ahead.
So what's your name?
Marv,
And how do you feel about this right here?
are you for it or against it?
Are you for it or against it?
I asked you first.
We're just documenting it.
Just document it? Well, they're saying in capitalism, they wouldn't be able to pay for their leather coats or their flags if we stop that, because capitalism is what pays for that stuff. But still, I like the fact that we are still showing freedom in the world, and Utah, of course, you know, is not just Mormon. But anyways, thank you very much. And I think they're right on for what they're doing, but they got to get more information on what they're marching for.
All right, well, thank you.
All right, take care.
Have a good one.
I love you could hear us panting in that because we're running up to people, talking to them, and everyone's moving forward. But then we got to run
and catch back up.
Yeah, all the way back up and try to even get a little bit of head so we get the people as they're coming out to witness it. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
While we were marching in this next, the cops were following, but they weren't doing anything. They weren't stopping the takeover of the street. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to find out, what was going on, like what were their intentions, what their plans were. Mm-hmm. So I went up to the lead cop and he had his windows rolled down and tried to ask him some questions about it until his sergeant got mad and ran me off the road.
Can I ask you some questions? We're just walking. What do you think of this? What's gonna happen?
Just make sure no one's getting hit right now.
Is that you guys' only priority right now?
Their safety, yeah. Don't want cars to come smashing into them.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing.
I think these cops got kind of pissed that they weren't really allowed to do anything, and they were allowing this group of masked black anarchists who've been yelling "fuck the police" to them for the last 45 minutes in front of the entire city, and they weren't allowed to do anything. They got really pissed off about that.
Yeah.
And so, like, at the very end, when everyone was dispersing, I think they got a little overzealous a little bit. What happened?
Well, basically, when all the groups dispersed, a group of, 4 to 7 people?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Were pulled over by 10 police officers.
Pulled over. They were on foot. They were on foot.
On foot for, get this, jaywalking. Yeah. And so we heard about that. And
we ran over to find out what was going on.
Found out what was happening.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask what's going on?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Hold up.
Okay. Is there someone I could talk to?
Who are you?
My name's Jeremy.
Who do you need to talk to, Jeremy?
Just trying to find out what's going on.
Well, it's an investigation, so I'm really not privy to it right now.
Okay.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. You looking for someone to talk to?
Yeah, I just wondering what was going on.
Just issuing some citations.
Well, for what?
Walking against the light.
All right. How many cops are here for walking across the light?
It's not this.
What was your name?
It's Sergeant Bolter. Boelter.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody's being detained for that reason? That's being detained here? Is for crossing?
From as far as I understand right now, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is Bolter.
Can I ask you what happened?
Yeah, so they cited us for walking against the signal today.
What kind of a citation is that?
It's just a simple traffic signal. I just have to go to traffic court within 14 days and, deal with that shit.
So it takes about 10 cops to stop 7 people from crossing on a red light?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently in Salt Lake City, yeah, that's what it takes. It apparently took about 18 cop cars to follow a group of people around. I mean, I think the citizens of Salt Lake would probably agree that there are probably better uses of time for the police officers than getting people for crossing intersections. Like, there's rapists and murderers loose on the street, and they're fucking stopping people for walking across an intersection against the light. It's really fucked up.
What do you think of the festivities today?
I thought it was a great time. I still think it was a great time, even though I got this citation today, and I'm hoping next year is even better. And we learned a few things, I think, from this year, and I think next year will be even better.
I thought that was funny that the first cop said that it was an investigation for jaywalking.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Whatever, though.
I think he was really taken aback that all of a sudden I'm running up, approaching him and being like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I mean, yeah, I had my microphone and everything.
We had our press passes.
We had our press passes, but I'm clearly with this group. Like, yeah,
I think I had an anarchy A on my pants.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I was a little more subtle. I only had my hat that had my red and black and my green and black stars on them, but... Yeah, it's a little funny.
Well, while we were there, though, there was a lot of great bands that were playing. We didn't get a chance to capture all the bands, but we did want to give you a little bit of taste of what was available. Do want to apologize. We weren't able to get this next musician's name, so if anybody knows, let us know, and then
we'll totally let you. We'll want to give you credit for who you are, but I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So here's a little bit of taste of music.
So enjoy.
Kicks. In a minute we'll be out my door. Don't bother calling anymore. I wanna walk around my town, see what's really going down, see who's even still alive in this concrete pigsty. I wanna plant a tiny seed in every breathing human being, to open up their sheltered homes, pretend that I am Sherlock Holmes, 'cause I know that I can find the ones that we've been waiting for. There's more that we can do now than ever before. Actions speak louder than words, or so I once heard. Take all my dreams and the things that I need, the whole world to see. 'Cause when I'm on my knees and making love to the unseen, I've learned enough from all my prayers to be sure it's not about God anymore. It's about us. But God, if you're looking down upon me now with nothing but a pensive frown, I'm so sorry that I let you down. But I think you make us act like clowns. And I don't mean to be a dick, but the piece you picked, they reek of shit they swallowed. And I don't know how they know. No, I don't bow to men in fancy clothes. I just figure it'll all work out if we're willing to speak out against the men that steal our freedoms. So let's show them something real then. Take all my dreams and the things I don't need and leave me blank for the whole world to see. 'Cause when I'm on my knees and making love to the unseen, I've learned enough from all my prayers to be sure it's not about God anymore. And I am not a traitor, but I'm exactly how it seems. The suggested oral system is a form of slavery, unsustainable, susceptible to greed and misery. A system for the few, the proud, the rich, celebrity. And I've been digging my whole life to find the center of my soul, and I'm not afraid to say I might know more than you know. I've dug so deep into our sickness that I've lost my fucking mind. And I swear to God, sometimes I see exactly how we're blind. All dressed to impress with our certificates and Adidas, while the countryside corrodes, who will be left to fucking feed us? Support your local culture, get the hell out of the system. We're changing things right here and now, and you're not afraid to listen. So give me one good reason why I shouldn't keep on trying to convince this living populace it's time to be on fire. To occupy successfully, we gotta find the nerve to spin it how we see it and have the guts to really mean it. Oh, it's all coming down. Yes, it's all coming down. Oh no.
You know what's really, really funny about hearing that again?
What's that?
It reminds me, during that song, I got a parking ticket.
You did get a parking ticket, and it's bullshit, too.
And I paid.
You did pay.
I paid. That was fucking expensive parking, too.
We had about 30 more minutes left.
Yeah.
And they still fucking...
Motherfuckers.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, after the music, that's when, everyone came up and gave their speeches about May Day, and we thought it was too important, and they had such good things to say that we wanted to share it with you. So we left them in their entirety. I don't think it's my place to edit
anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to edit what people are saying. So
enjoy this bonus content of speeches.
Yeah, that's just to give you a little forewarning. These are speeches. Mm-hmm. So
it's a good 20-30 minutes
of speeches, which I thoroughly enjoy. So please sit back and enjoy.
So we're here to celebrate May Day, which began with a labor demonstration on Tuesday, May 4th, 1886, at the Haymarket Square in Chicago. And it began as a peaceful rally in support of workers striking for an 8-hour workday. An unknown person threw a dynamite bomb at the police as the demonstration was dispersing, and the bomb blast ensued gunfire, resulting in the deaths of 7 police officers and at least 4 civilians, and scores of others were wounded. And I just want you to kind of picture this for a minute. This was late at night. This rally that was taking place at Haymarket was actually taking place in the evening. Very peaceful. It wasn't until the crowd was dispersing and then the police kind of raised their voices and actually got onto the folks, and someone, it's suspected it was the Pinkerton spies, threw a bomb into the crowd. And we know what happened after that. 8 anarchists were convicted of conspiracy. 7 were sentenced to death and 1 to a term of 15 years in prison. The death sentence of 2 of the defendants were commuted by the governor then of Illinois, Richard Oglesby, to terms of life in prison. and another committed suicide in jail rather than face the gallows. The other 4 were hanged on November 11th, 1887 in 1893. Illinois' new governor, John Altgeld, pardoned the remaining defendants, and he criticized the trial. And after reviewing the case, he concluded that, as many subsequent scholars had, after reviewing the case, that there had been serious miscarriages of justice in the prosecution. And I had read it someplace that they had thought that killing these anarchists would bury the idea. And that's just not true. This new governor of Illinois, John Altgeld, also stood for workplace safety and child labor laws. And there's actually a statue of him in Chicago today. He also did not fold under pressure to give in and put the workers back to work on the Pullman strike. The people that were fighting the Pullmans for 8-hour workday, for good wages, safe working conditions. This governor in Illinois did not fold under pressure to the Pullman strike that was started by socialist leader Eugene Debs. However, the Haymarket Affair is generally considered significant as the original International May Day and observance for workers. So to give you a little history on this, during the economic slowdown that extended between 1882 and 1886, socialists and anarchists labor organizing was very successful. Without this organizing, a worker could expect to make $1.50 a day, which in today's terms is about $40 a day. So just think what that can not buy, okay? So the anarchists and socialists were very successful in their labor organizing. People could expect to work between 9 and 14 hours a day, on average 11 hours a day, for the same rate that they eventually got at 8 hours a day. So just to help you understand, everybody understand what the 8-hour workday was. In October of 1884, a convention was held by the Federation of Organized Trades and Labor Unions, and they unanimously set May 1st, 1886, as the date by which the 8-hour workday would become standard. As the chosen date approached, U.S. labor unions prepared for a general strike in support of the 8-hour workday. And on that May 1st, rallies were held throughout the United States, and an estimated number of workers across the United States, between 300,000 to 500,000, walked out of their jobs or didn't go to work that day. In Chicago at the Haymarket Square, it's estimated that between 600 and 3,000 working class showed up. This, again, was an evening rally. They showed up to strike for the 8-hour workday, and we all know how that story goes now. It is speculated that the Pinkertons, you guys look up the Pinkertons, they're bad dudes. After the Haymarket Affair it did set back the American labor movement for the 8-hour workday. It didn't take place in 1886 like we all had hoped because of that bomb and the conspiracy. As a historian, Nathan Fine, points out, trade union activities continued to show signs of growth and vitality despite the Haymarket Affair setback. The fact is that despite police repression, newspaper incitement to hysteria, and organizing of the possessing classes, which followed the throwing of the bomb on May 4th, the Chicago wage earners only united their forces and stiffened their resistance. The conservative and radical central bodies, there are 2, each of the trade unions, and 2 also of the Knights of Labor, the socialists and the anarchists, the single taxpayer and the reformers, the native-born and the foreign-born, Germans, Bohemians, Scandinavians. They all work together. They all work together, okay? We all need to work together. They all work together on the political field in the summering following the Haymarket Affair. Pressure continued for the establishment of the 8-hour workday, and at the convention of the American Federation of Labor, which is the AFL, in 1888, the union decided to campaign for the shorter workday again. This time, May 1st, 1890 was agreed upon as the date which workers would strike for the 8-hour workday. So this is 4 years after the Haymarket Affair, okay? Gotta watch out for spies in the groups. and saboteurs. Unless we're the saboteurs, that's good. They all got together and agreed that May 1st was going to be the date which workers would strike again for the 8-hour workday and to remember those martyrs killed in association with the Haymarket Affair. And I'm going to challenge you guys one more thing, that anybody, well, just one person, pick one person and share this story of the Haymarket Affair and May Day and what May Day is, because things like Law Day are overshadowing. And Law Day's fine. I don't know if you guys have heard about Law Day. They're now celebrating on May 1st, and it sounds good, you know, it's to recognize human rights and equality, and we're all for that too. But don't let anybody forget what May Day is about and where it started. And just each one of you, I challenge you, forget about middle class, we are working class, and remind at least one person in your life what May Day is and tell them the story of the Haymarket Affair. And we must come together as man, woman, anarchist, socialist, LGBT, minority, conservative, liberal, whatever. We have to continue fighting where we see injustices. If we stand by and watch an injustice being done, we're just as guilty as the person doing the injustice. We must continue to fight together for better wages, for dignity and safety at work. And I can tell you through my union, I have those things. And if I don't, I can grieve it. And I still have a job. They can't fire me for being a pain in their butt, okay? So I urge you to unionize your workplaces. It's a lot easier than you think. If you want to unionize your workplaces for better wages, better working conditions, you'll figure out how. The internet is an amazing wealth of information. You can ask me, but you can find out if that is what you want for your workplace. But you yourself has to do it. Nobody's gonna do it for you. So you do deserve dignity, I'll tell you that, and you do deserve better wages and safety, just like the folks back in 1886 did. So thank you very much, you guys. This is really awesome. Thanks.
Good afternoon. I'd like to first off, I'd like to apologize. I didn't come prepared to speak. I didn't write a speech out or anything, so I really apologize. I didn't even think I'd be here today, but I am, so that's good. So as the moderator said, my name is Isaac. My name is Isaac Quirón. I'm a member of MECHA at the University of Utah, which stands for Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano de Islam. I'm also a staff writer for the Venceremos bilingual newspaper at the University of Utah, and I'm also an at-large member of the Brown Berets. All of those organizations.
Just talk right next to me.
All right, sounds good. All right, so all of those organizations are Chicano organizations, Chicano organizations. And the reason for their existence is, number one, to remind us Latinos that we are descendants of people of indigenous and African roots. Chicanismo reminds us where we come from. But Chicanismo, more than a racial and ethnic identity, is a political identity. We are Latinos who refuse to acknowledge the fact that we were colonized. We fight against that. We're indigenous. But today has been it's a really interesting day for everybody. Around the world, today, May 1st, signifies a day of working people's struggle. And at the University of Utah earlier today, we had another rally against the rise in tuition hikes, as well as the implementation of a $150 enrollment fee, basically. So we're fighting, the raising of the fees and everything like that up there. And the reason why we came to this as well is because student rights and workers' rights go hand in hand. In a successful revolution, workers and students have to be united together as one. And we need to not get it twisted, the fact that if we're here today, we understand that we're here not to ask for reform. We're here as revolutionaries, right? We're here with the understanding that the capitalist system as it exists, its very nature is destructive. Its very nature is what has us in these conditions. Its very nature as a capitalist system was to create an oppressing class to oppress working people. So, that being said, we're here with people that have different ways of working together to dismantle this system. I haven't been able to talk radically in a while. I don't talk like this at the U. I'm an economics major, so I have to talk about that in like, but useless ways. When part of what we were doing up there as well in the university today was to acknowledge the fact that just like in society in general, at the University of Utah with the implementation of those new policies, the main people that are affected are the immigrant community. Right? They're the ones that are not going to be helped in any way by FAFSA, by any kind of financial help, and they get pushed out of the universities due to the fact that, even with in-state tuition, school's getting too disgustingly expensive. Right? We were just talking about earlier today that the cost of education in the United States has risen 44% since 2008. That, of course, along with everything else that we see happening, is furthering the divide between the rich and the poor. So, what my message today is, or what I wanted to come along bringing today was the fact that at the University of Utah, the struggle that we see up there with the students, it's been hidden away up there too long. There needs to be more connection between academics and potential future academics and community activist revolutionaries that we have here in the community. Right? And that, I think, is something that has to come from that has to come down from the university, and that's why Mecha is here today, supporting workers' rights, and we're going to be here, through everything. Our voice as Chicano people, Chicana people, is going to be presented as Afro-Indigenous people. So we stand in solidarity. Today's workers' rights. Today's all our day. So thank you everybody for coming. All power to the people.
Good afternoon.
I'll step into it. There you go.
Okay. We're very grateful that you asked us to come and speak today. My name is Angelica Rodriguez Rangi, and I'm the president of Salt Lake Dream Team. We are here to support the May Day and its workers, and we're very glad that you guys again invited us. But for us, today nationally, United We Dream and other affiliates have been having marches for May Day in support of the immigrant workers. So we're here fighting for a reform. In 1963, Che Guevara addressed the audience at a May Day celebration by saying, "Compañeros, we meet once again on the eve of International Workers' Festival to honor those compañeros who have distinguished themselves by their efforts in the service of production for our country. Today, once again, we honor the workers who build this country and keep it great every day. For us, many of these workers whose rights we're fighting for are our parents, mothers who own hair salons or small business, or clean hotel rooms to care for children or the elderly, fathers who build or repair houses, work in mechanic shops or in the field, who work endlessly and aren't paid what they deserve. I do not mean to judge or discriminate by the types of jobs that I just mentioned that our parents or fellow companions may have. I only mean to demonstrate that our families will go to any means to provide a better life for their family members, their children, grandchildren, and us. Our parents, family, and friends should be able to get the jobs and careers that they deserve. Careers and jobs of their own, and get paid what they actually deserve. Not have to work endlessly for hours and hours and not get the salary that other people are getting because of their immigrant status. We have to keep pushing for a reform. It's on the table at the moment, but we have to keep pushing for it to pass. We have to thank those that have supported us and let those that don't, that we will hold them accountable, especially the politicians. This country was founded by immigrants, hardworking immigrants. We need to remind them of that. Every one of us has immigrant blood. That's what makes this country so great, isn't it? Thank you for having us.
Before I start translating to Jake, I just want to say a few words. Like I'm an immigrant person. I came to this country several years ago, and The reason I'm celebrating this, the reason why because I'm here because I'm a worker and I'm an immigrant person. And right now in the streets, right now in restaurants, construction companies, right now in different companies, there is a tons of undocumented workers working really hard to feed their families to like better life for themselves. The state doesn't recognize our existence, but we don't care because we're here and we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere, whatever they like, I don't know.
You're in good hands.
Cool. Fellow workers, I'm going to start off by telling a story about something that happened to me not too long ago.
Trabajadores, Jay va a empezar diciendo una historia que pasó hace no mucho tiempo.
It was the first week of December. I greeted my coworker at the employee entrance. A couple of reluctant sighs were exchanged as we entered the store to start our day.
Fue la primera semana de diciembre y saludé a un compañero trabajador en la entrada de nuestro trabajo.
There, as we walked into the back room, we saw it. There, hanging on the rack, in all of its red and white horror, was the Santa suit.
Al momento que entramos a nuestro centro de trabajo lo vimos, ahí estaba él vistiendo su traje, ¿no? El santo del trabajo.
You see, it has been company policy for the past 10 years or so that during the month of December, one of the backroom associates puts on this ridiculous suit and greets customers for 3 long, humiliating hours.
Y esta persona por 3 horas en su traje estuvo ahí en una manera muy ridícula, estaba dando la bienvenida a cada persona por 3 horas.
It was my first week of Santa duty, but I was already tired of it. There's nothing like getting into work and being told that there's literally no better use of your body than dressing up like a stupid mythical creature and annoying grown adults with ho-ho-hos and candy canes.
Era mi primera semana de trabajo y ya estaba cansado de eso. No había cosa peor que ponerse en un traje estúpido y saludar a cada persona con una sonrisa en la cara y decir cosas estúpidas como ho-ho-ho.
I read the same frustration on my coworker's face. He knew it was his turn to bask in the pointlessness. The third guy did it yesterday, and I did it the day before that. He went to grab the suit, but I stopped him.
Y lo mismo pasaba con mis otros compañeros de trabajo. Todos estábamos cansados de hacer lo mismo. Antes que yo hubo una persona y después de unas semanas antes estaba otra persona. Todos cansados de ponernos en el mismo traje.
I showed him a long list of things that we needed to get done that day, which had carried over from the previous few days. She can't expect us to do all of this while one of us is stuck being Santa for 3 hours, I declared.
Les expliqué lo que teníamos que hacer, lo que hacíamos todos los días. Esta persona estaba cansada de eso. No podemos hacer lo mismo por todo este tiempo.
This was true. Hell, the list would be hard enough even if there were no Santa duty. But we have to, he replied.
Esto era lo que pasaba. Ni el infierno puede ser peor que estar trabajando en este trabajo. Pero tenemos que hacerlo, ella dijo.
I responded by stating the obvious. The way I see it, we have a choice. Do our job or play Santa. We can't get in trouble for doing our job, right?
Le respondí con la misma respuesta. Tenemos que hacer esto, no tenemos otra opción. Tenemos que hacer y vestirnos y actuar como Santa. Santa Claus.
He looked around and then quietly started to change his mind. I guess we can't get in that much trouble, right? It's not like we're going on strike or something. He literally said those exact words.
Él miró alrededor y dijo, bueno, no puede ser peor que esto, ¿verdad? No es que nos vamos a ir a una huelga y vamos a alborotar todo este lugar.
We both agreed that from then on, we would not wear the Santa suit. If our boss asked us to do it, we would apologetically agree. Then, we'll just not do it.
Entonces llegamos a una conclusión de que no vamos a usar el disfraz de Santa. Si nuestro jefe nos dice que tenemos que hacerlo, vamos a responder cortésmente que sí lo vamos a hacer, pero al final no lo vamos a hacer.
And this happened. Multiple times she approached us, polite at first, but progressively less so. A few days into the act, she actually threatened to write us up, but she never did. Too much paperwork, I guess.
La manera como ella actuó al principio fue cortés, pero después de un tiempo se acercó a nosotros y nos dijo que si no hacíamos lo que ella decía, nos iba a escribir un reporte acerca de nosotros.
Weeks passed, and soon it was January. We were boxing up all the holiday decorations and storing them on the top shelf for the next year. The Santa suit had been worn for the last 3.5 weeks, despite the daily reminders from our manager.
El tiempo pasó, era el principio de enero, y empezamos a guardar todas las cosas de las festividades. El disfraz de Santa Claus se guardó y nunca se usó por el resto de las 3 semanas anteriores.
We were pretty pleased with ourselves, despite the obvious fact that not having to wear the suit was but a very small increase in our working conditions. It felt like we just won a $3 hour raise or something.
Estábamos muy felices con nosotros porque a pesar del hecho que no habíamos usado el disfraz, nuestro sueldo se incrementó un poquito más, como $3 más.
I was especially shocked by how pleased I felt. Abolishing Santa duty was a drop in the galactic bucket compared to abolishing capitalism.
Estábamos muy contentos y estaba impresionado con lo que hicimos. El hecho de no haber usado el traje de Santa fue una respuesta grande en contra del capitalismo.
Actually, I'm not sure if I was more shocked by how pleased I felt, or by how much of a stir it actually caused around my workplace. It seemed like everybody was noticing the lack of Santa action.
No sé cuál me impresionó más, el hecho de que no usamos el disfraz o el hecho de que logramos alborotar nuestro centro de trabajo y nadie usó el disfraz de Santa.
Salespersons, office workers, even customers were asking where Santa was. Our co-workers were shocked by how we could blatantly disobey a long-standing policy such as Santa duty. Some were supportive. Some would complain about some aspect of their job that they have to put up with and ask why we can't just do the same.
Algunos de los vendedores en el centro de trabajo y las personas que venían a nuestro centro de trabajo estaban un poco confundidas y se preguntaban dónde se quedó el disfraz de Santa.
I realized that what we did was bigger than just not putting on a costume. We challenged an idea, a powerful one at that. This idea was that you go to work, do whatever your boss tells you, no questions, no input. You go home, come back the next day, and repeat.
Y nos dimos cuenta que lo que habíamos hecho era más que no usar el traje el disfraz de Santa. Lo que habíamos hecho era atacar una idea que es ahí siempre clara, lo que te dice tu jefe, que lo que tienes que hacer, que no tienes otra opción, que tienes que hacer lo que tu jefe te dice.
This idea has been so ingrained in our everyday lives that we oftentimes don't notice it enough to challenge it. And when we do, it opens doors. Now, 4 months after abolishing Santa duty, I've seen workers change schedules under the boss's nose, change the way they greet customers without consulting management at all. There's even talk amongst salespersons about wanting to put an end to a major compensation policy.
Y lo que hicimos fue algo importante porque ayudó a los demás trabajadores a darse cuenta de lo que ellos estaban pasando. No tenemos que obedecer a los jefes. Muchos trabajadores empezaron a cambiar sus horarios sin que los jefes se dieran cuenta y cosas así.
As an organizer, this is a lot more to work with than what I had previously. I remember my first day on the job. I knew wobbly, just having attended organizer training, hearing workers endorsing Romney, cursing at each other, and wondering how the hell am I supposed to build a union out of this shit?
Como trabajador esto fue importante y como Wobbly, un trabajador de los trabajadores industriales del mundo, fue importante. Escuchar las conversaciones de otros trabajadores peleándose acerca de Romney y diciendo cómo vamos a formar un sindicato con estas personas.
Now I'm much more optimistic. The fellow workers who helped abolish Santa duty are more confident in their power and less loyal to our boss. We have a long way to go before we can make the changes we really want to see, but I'm confident that a foundation is being laid.
Ahora las diferencias son claras. No tenemos que obedecer al jefe. Los trabajadores, nuestros compañeros, tienen más confianza entre ellos y no confían tanto en los jefes.
When we think of big ideas like abolishing capitalism, we tend to only think of the big actions. We forget the solidarity and networks required to pull them off. 4 months ago, we abolished Santa duty at my workplace. In the future, there will be more actions, bigger fights, and bigger rewards.
Cuando hablamos de abolir el capitalismo, siempre pensamos en las grandes ideas o en las grandes acciones, pero no nos damos cuenta que la solidaridad y la familiaridad que construimos en nuestro centro de trabajo es importante.
These networks will interact with community organizations. As members of these communities, they will be able to engage in class struggle in all aspects of our society. Until that moment arrives, when a final break with capitalism and other systems of oppression can occur.
Esta manera en cómo nos organizamos nos ayuda a realizar que para obtener la lucha de clases tenemos que confiar entre nosotros.
On this revolutionary holiday, may we reaffirm our commitment to working towards this goal. May we remember that there are things we can do here and now to create a footing upon which a revolution can be built.
Y en este día revolucionario, en el Día del Trabajador, tenemos que darnos cuenta que hay cosas que podemos hacer entre nosotros que nos van a ayudar.
Direct action is more than just fighting for better conditions under our current system, although this often is a result. It involves finding and attacking the fundamental principles and ideas upon which oppression and exploitation are based.
Y la solidaridad que construimos es más que acciones directas, es más de las cosas que podemos hacer eso. Se trata de la solidaridad que construimos y los lazos que creamos para atacar estas cosas que nos están haciendo nuestra vida imposible.
It is about pushing the powers that be to their breaking point. It is about using our solidarity as a weapon in this struggle against the ruling class.
Es ayudarnos a nosotros y lograr la solidaridad y usar esa solidaridad que construimos como una arma contra las clases de élite que nos acosan.
Direct action is something that we do, but more importantly, it is something that we are. It is our impulse towards mutual aid, our willingness to revolt, to make an injury to one, an injury to all.
Acción directa es algo que hacemos, pero más que eso es algo que somos. Es una manera en cómo logramos poner en práctica este lema que dice que una ofensa a uno es una ofensa a todos.
Fellow workers, you don't have to be radicals 16 hours a day, but broken and weak for 8. The workplace is more than just somewhere we go to be exploited by capitalism.
Compañeros trabajadores, no tenemos que ser radicales 16 horas, pero 8 horas después estar quebrados y hacer lo que ellos nos dicen.
It's an opportunity to fight back against drudgery and humiliation. It's a space to attack racism, patriarchy, and other systems of oppression.
Es una manera de pelear contra el racismo y es una manera de pelear con otras formas como el sexismo y otras formas de opresión en nuestros centros de trabajo.
It's a place to demand more, and then some. Let's do it, no matter how spontaneous or uncertain. Let's stop wearing the fucking Santa suit.
Es una manera de lograr algo más, y vamos a hacerlo, y parémonos de ponernos el estúpido disfraz de Santa.
So, as you all know, we do a weekly poll.
Weekly poll.
This week's poll is, are anarchists that vote like atheists that pray?
Do you know an atheist that prays?
I know no atheist that prays.
I've never heard of an atheist that prays.
Yeah.
I know anarchists that vote, though.
I do, too. I'm one of them.
I'm right there with you. I am. According to this poll, I disagree with 25% of you.
Yeah, there's a firm 25% of people who believe that anarchists that vote are like atheists that pray.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're a hypocrite?
I think so.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, that's the best.
I would say about 25% of people would call me a hypocrite.
Yeah,
that's accurate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that.
But I was surprised by the large number of people who agree with my opinion. Well, maybe, but there's 54% of the people also say that no, that it's not. And that's how I feel. I think that when you're voting on local politics and stuff like that,
especially extremely local,
mm-hmm.
when you get down to like school board local, or you get down to like, your HOA, or just something very going to affect you every day on the little minutia of the shit you deal with.
Mm-hmm. I think it is very important. Obviously, things like presidential candidates and stuff, It doesn't really fucking matter.
Electoral college, we're not talking about that. Like,
we're talking about voting on a local level. I feel it's important. I think that it accomplishes something. If I'm living in the society that I'm living in, even if I disagree with the way it's run, I do want to change it for the better, at least in the temporary.
Not only do I feel it's a good thing to do, but I feel it's your responsibility to be a productive member of society, to voice your opinions on things that you disagree with. So if you live in an extreme right-wing community, like we do, I believe it's our responsibility to stand up and say, we're not all fucking crazy. We don't all disagree with evolution. We don't all, believe that 5-year-olds should be able to own guns or whatever it is. Maybe some of you believe that, but I'm just referring to that 5-year-old that shot the 2-year-old. It's fucking crazy. But there needs to be people. I think it's our right to voice the opposition. If we don't voice the opposition, it only gets worse. And we're not gonna achieve an anarchist utopia by voting. That will never happen. I would agree with Emma Goldman in that aspect when she said, I'm butchering this, maybe it even wasn't Emma Goldman, but when she said if voting could achieve anything or accomplish anything, then it would be banned. I agree with that. Like, we're not gonna get to that utopia by voting, but we can make the daily lives of ourselves and other citizens better.
So for the 20 of you that are still sitting on the fence,
and
21,
I get the maybe. I do get it maybe. Yes, if an anarchist who just sits back and only votes in presidential elections, I would say that's kind of like that.
Yeah,
because it doesn't do anything. It's just horseshit. But I think as anarchists, it's our responsibility to be involved locally.
You can say that voting on a presidential election, if you vote for a third party, could possibly change getting a third party candidate on the ballot.
Well, the only way that's going to get a third party candidate on the ballot is if they can get federal funding, which means they have to get at least 5% on a previous election and so, blah, 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 which has never happened. I think Nader in 2000 was the closest. He was about 4%, somewhere around there.
And so, I mean, if that's something that you're wanting to accomplish, it's really not an anarchistic goal at all, unless you're trying to get an anarchist party on, which would be hilarious because I don't think that there's been a running anarchist party in the United States, from my knowledge, in a long time.
If there was, I would totally vote. I would put a banner in my front yard. I would do all the things that people did for, not Paul Ryan.
Ron Paul?
Right, thank you. Jesus, those are pretty different. Yeah, in some ways.
Got similar names.
How he had that grassroots campaign, at least here locally he did.
Yeah.
I would help do that on a daily basis during the presidential elections.
It's pretty hilarious. And I like, what is that, Vermin Supreme? He's an anarchist that often runs, and he's
Is he an anarchist?
He claims to be an anarchist.
Okay.
Maybe we could get him on sometime. He's hilarious because he promises a free pony to everyone, and also
I don't want a free pony.
He's gonna make it.
Can I free the pony?
Yeah, I think it's yours to do as you please.
Because it's property.
Because it is property. But you do have to brush your teeth. That is a requirement that he...
To get a pony. You brush your teeth, you get a pony.
You have to brush your teeth in general. That's just the law. You have.
So he's an anarchist that wants a law of brushing your teeth?
He's...
I want this guy on.
Yeah, he's just making a joke of the entire system. And,
okay.
And the platform he runs on, he threw fairy dust on another candidate.
What is fairy dust made of?
Fairies.
Is it non-toxic?
It's probably not vegan.
Well, it's fairies.
Yeah.
So how do fairies make fairy dust?
Probably when they fart. I don't know.
Sweet.
Yeah, but he's funny. But yeah, so thank you for voting. I thought it was hilarious that it was a voting poll
about I didn't even think about that. So how do you 25% justify voting?
You had to press the vote button.
You had to, wait, didn't we get somebody that said that?
They've said it in person.
Oh, they said it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They thought it was funny that
you're making me press vote.
They make me press vote. Yeah, I did that on purpose. That's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the May Day podcast.
Yeah, and just this took a lot of work. We bought special microphones for it. Took a lot of time out of our time just to be there, to record it, the editing. So I really hope you appreciate it. Like it takes a lot of work to put these out. And
I had a lot of fun doing it.
And the best way to show us your appreciation
is to
go to our website.
Donate a little bit of cha-ching.
Yeah, totally. But I want to leave you this last message that we got at the May Day rally.
What do you guys think about this?
I want to tell them about Bitcoin.
Well, we already know about Bitcoin, and you can donate your Bitcoins to us at
whichsidepodcast.com.
Thanks, little dude, for the segue.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Due to financial situations, Which Side Podcast has sort is sold out and needs your money. If you are going to purchase anything online, please click through the Amazon Hypertext Transfer Protocol code on our worldwide webpage, whichsidepodcast.com. Thank you for your continued support. 01100110011011101010010110011011101110111 fuck shit damn.